About to be the virtual comedy show, and everything is screwy, and the titles you're about to see are going to say this is last week's show, and the titles at the end are going to say we had last week's comedian, last week's musical guest. Don't worry about it. It's all under control. And now Brad will do his cold open, and I'm going away. Any second.
Any second. Hi, we are live, and you can tell mostly because we're already screwed up. But I do want to tell you, I have big news. For the first time, and Bill will find this more interesting than most of you, for the first time in more than a decade, I have reached platinum status on American Airlines.
Ooh.
I know. Which means I will never fly American Airlines again.
Since 2020, we've done plenty of virtual comedy shows online. And though the virus is slowing, we'll keep going because we've still got lots of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin.
Welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. It's a Zoom meeting with jokes. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, unless you have barking dogs or a rabid moose in your living room, in which case, please mute yourself for Pete's sake, and let's have some fun.
It's the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Steve Goodie and Brad Tassell. Tonight, Steve and Brad welcome comedian
Bill Boronkay.
plus funny songs from
Heywood Banks.
and a patty melt from Patti Vasquez, and much, much more. Now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
Hooray.
What part was messed up?
The date. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no, it was perfect. I thought it was going to say, and welcome Johns Johnson or something.
Okay, so not only was it screwed up, but I've screwed up about how much it was screwed up. Carry on.
Your biggest screw up. It's like, when you say too much that you were wrong when you were
Yeah,
right.
and then your co-host continues saying too much about it.
What's screwed up is my lighting. Oh my God. I was hired for the movie Powder. So hi, everybody. Welcome to the Virtual Comedy Show and my nightmare of the lighting. I'm Brad Tassell, and I'd like to thank Brick Manley for sitting in last week and being so damn handsome. So we're going to have to do Mustache Day next week, maybe. We'd also like to thank super talented Steve Goodie for being
Hooray.
talented and explaining to us what was wrong when we didn't notice it. And, of course, the super amazing Patti Vasquez for the pathos she brings to every MAGA with a radio. I think that's fantastic stuff. And we also have one of the most special nights of the entire 4 years and 192 shows. Yes, our headliners, of course, the special and hilarious comedian Bill Boronkay, everybody. Bill Boronkay. Special and hilarious. But we also have, let's wait for it, Heywood Banks.
Yes.
That is 4 years coming. There's no reason to go into his credits because I don't think I know any. So anyway, by the way, I did want to say, if I confused anybody with my opening about American Airlines, getting status on an airline is hard enough, but getting platinum is super difficult these days. And the perks that come with it are incredible, which means with my luck, I'll never get to use any of them. That's and just when I now get free upgrades to first class on American, I just got 10 Southwest flights in a row coming up. So that's fantastic. Isn't that fantastic? Which means Southwest, which means only one person may be drooling next to you on the flight. It's always the way. When I joined the United Club, right? They have the club. It cost me 65,000 miles, and then I didn't fly United for 9 months after that. 9 months. They do this on purpose. The only sad part is there's no status on Southwest. It's like flying Walmart, but there's less fish smell. Actually, depending on who you're sitting next to, there could be more fish smell. And Delta is making it even harder. Anybody fly Delta? They're making it even harder to get status next year. I've been silver with Delta for more than 10 years. But next year, to gain status, you have to spend $5,000 and give the CEO's daughter your spleen. She doesn't even need it. She just likes to play with them. So, okay, well, that is enough of that. I have made a huge mistake, and I moved my lighting in front of the jokes. So we're going to be in real trouble here. So let's start the jokes, and I'm going to be pulling them off and reading them in my hand.
I think it can only help.
It can only help. I might just show them to you and let you read them out loud yourself. All right, so let's do it. Hey, George Santos, whatever happened to that guy? Okay, that was the first joke right there. Okay, I'm ripping them off and holding them in my hand. Here you go. You ready? Do you see it?
Yep.
Ron DeSantis has suspended his presidential campaign because he finally found lifts high enough to get his mouth back on Trump's teat. Too far on that one?
Much too far.
Yeah. Little Ronnie, who Trump has called every name in the book and attacked his family, is back to bending over forwards for Big Donnie. He is sucking up so hard to a man that hates him that Ted Cruz is like, slow your roll, dude.
Whoa.
Hear that sucking sound all the way to Abilene. Okay.
Wait, what sound?
The sucking sound.
Okay, your audio got a little weird there. Did everybody hear it the way I heard it?
I did not say that. For the record, I did not. Okay, audio, stop screwing me.
Stop whatting you?
Having sex with me. It's Rob, everybody. Okay. This is going to take 2 hours if we don't calm down. Here we go. Okay. Jodie Foster, who I have been in love with since I was 7. I don't know about you. I believe I never had a chance, though. She revealed that she was supposed to play Princess Leia in Star Wars. Did y'all see that?
Wow,
Really?
Foster was only 14 at the time, much younger than the adult Carrie Fisher. And it's a good thing the young Foster didn't take the job because her first scene with Luke in Empire Strikes Back would have only been legal in Alabama. They had a kiss. Okay. Also, one comment about the supposed casting was that bikini scene would have made me feel icky, said Jabba the Hutt. Okay. Jabba the Hutt, everybody. Okay, here we go. Hey, did you see this? A Florida man walked a mile with a bullet hole in his head for help. You didn't see that?
No.
The man was shot. The man was shot over an argument with another man about a woman. Yep. The woman is angry because now it'll take 2 more bullets to fix her problem. Because the first one obviously didn't get the job done. Wants them both gone. Hey, this one was big today. I bet y'all saw it. Singer Elle King is in trouble for a drunken, cursing, lyrics flubbing performance of a Dolly Parton tune on stage at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. Is that wild? Country music fans are horrified by the inebriated, foul-mouthed singer, with one hardcore country fan saying, "We got a high standard of morality in country music that she stepped on." Then that fan spit out some chew, peed on her boyfriend's truck, and slept with her brother. Okay. Slept with her brother. That was the next move. Oh, I forgot this one. Are you ready? I wanted to mention that I am home. This one's on the light over here, so I didn't notice it. I want to mention that I am extra happy since Christmas. I don't know. Is anybody else extra happy since Christmas?
Extra happy.
Extra happy. I'm going to be home for 10 days, which is rare. 2 words that have changed my life. Milk frother. You have a milk frother? I love my new milk frother. I don't know about you. And by the way, milk frother was my porn name.
Soon.
I'm not even sure what that means. It just sounds gross, doesn't it? Okay, here's one that no one cares about. Prosecutors in Italy have filed manslaughter charges against the owner of a vegan restaurant that served dairy-filled tiramisu to a young woman who then died of the allergy. I'm coughing. I've got something in my throat. She died of the vegan restaurant put dairy in the tiramisu. She also ordered a vegan sandwich that contained eggs and mayonnaise. I mean, all of which the woman was highly allergic to. The restaurant said that they didn't know she was so allergic, and if they did, they would have given her their special baby seal-fed veal. So that would have Did I mention it was a vegan restaurant? Vegan. When asked how they could call themselves vegan, the owner said, "We meant some of our dishes are made from vegans." Goodbye to that one. Oh, hey, did you see this? The top news of the day. New Hampshire voters are getting fake robocalls from Joe Biden saying not to vote. Did you see that? No? Okay. They're also getting calls from Donald Trump saying they might have syphilis, but those are real.
Oh.
You haven't seen that people are saying
No.
because of the dots on his hand, he's got syphilis? Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, there you go, everybody. I think I've lost it. Is somebody handing out the checks? Everybody know what I'm talking about right there.
Nope, no idea.
No.
I'll get you. Arnold Schwarzenegger was detained at the Munich airport for not declaring a one-of-a-kind Swiss watch that he was planning to auction off at a charity event in Austria. Customs officials held the action star for 3 hours and demanded a large tax on the item, and then their credit machine didn't work. So Arnold tried to go to an ATM and they grabbed him. And then he said, "I'll be back."
Nah.
German customers all peed themselves. One official said, "You say it's not a tumor, we'll give you our watches." That was cute, and this one's not. I've got like 3 more. King Charles III is having prostate surgery the same week that Kate Middleton is having abdominal surgery. Coincidence? Now, we don't know, but it does bring new attention to the spit versus swallow debate.
Oh, geez. Really?
Shame on you.
Man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but if you got it, you're as gross as me. Okay. All right. Well, you guys can all just shut up. Okay. Got a lighting problem here.
We got all kinds of problems.
Is the tie and the thing kind of makes it wonky?
Yeah, I think it's a moire effect.
I think I'm blaming that and that the moose is falling. My moose is. Oh, you dumb moose.
That's what happens when you jump up and down when you're making chocolate mousse. It'll fall.
Man.
Oh, that solved the lighting problem.
That's my other porn name, chocolate mousse. Okay.
What?
I don't know. The most important story of the day. Pauly Shore has a short film headed to Sundance Festival where he plays Richard Simmons. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, no.
The film is titled The Court Jester, and it's 10 minutes long. It centers around the fitness guru's conversation with a TV segment producer, low self-esteem. Fans are hoping that just like Richard Simmons, Pauly Shore will disappear forever.
Ah.
What do I got? Two more. My 2 favorites. These are my 2 favorites. Doesn't mean they're funny. They're the last ones. Here we go. Melania Trump's mother's funeral was last week at a church near Mar-a-Lago. Very sad. They then all followed the casket to the burial plot, where the Reverend spoke kindly of the First Lady's mother, but made sure to pause to let foursomes play through.
That's a good one.
Green fees are expensive. Come on. They need that money. All right. And this one I saw at the last minute. So good luck. A pole dancing school. Let me say that again. A pole dancing school is defending its mommy and me class.
Oh my God.
What?
Yep. After it's getting criticism that it sets a bad example for young girls. Pole dancing class.
Oh, my.
Boys and girls from ages 4 to 14 are in the class.
Oh
And
my
the
God.
owner says that pole dancing is a world recognized sport and that no child is twerking. So now the class does cost $250, but instructors say a 12-year-old can make that up in tips in no time.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh.
That's terrible.
That was rough, wasn't
Don't
it?
that was
post
in
that.
Florida.
Don't post it.
That was rough. All right, Steve, can you bring yourself in?
I can, but I'm gonna let you enjoy your moment for a second on that
There we
terrible,
go.
terrible ending, and then I'll come in as kind of a palate cleanser. I don't want to be associated with that joke. All right, I'm
Good
here.
ending.
Oh.
But yeah, so bring Alice up. That was a good idea.
I didn't do that. That's a Zoom thing. Brad Tassell, everybody, choking his way through another brilliant monologue.
I have something.
Go have a drink. Go sit in the dark. Do something.
I gotta do something.
It's all going to be fine. All right. Should I get rid of you? Or you want to stay?
No, I'll stay. Well, bring in
Okay.
who's
It's me next. It's me.
Oh, well, no, play
Remember
the
me?
band.
Yeah, we don't have to bring anybody in because I'm
I'll
already
go
here.
away. Just
We've only
play
done this 193 times. The top 10 list comes now.
I know, but you're not playing the thing?
I will. Before I
Play
played the thing, I just wanted to remind everybody that I've had about the worst week I think possibly anybody with a computer can possibly have. I had 2 computers die on me this week, as well as having my Thursday show at the Third Coast Comedy Club get canceled, allegedly on account of weather, but actually it was because of money, and that sucks. So that's the mood I'm in. Let's do a top 10 list. Here we go. That's right. It's Monday, which means Thursday was 4 days ago, and the big show that I was planning. Oh, Al, the weird tribute and how Daniel Radcliffe got mixed up in this nonsense went perfectly in my living room because it got canceled at the Third Coast Comedy Club at the last minute, and that made me mad because they did not treat me with respect. It got canceled because my show is at 9. The 7 o'clock show canceled themselves because they were afraid of the weather. And then the club said, well, then we're just going to cancel Steve's show because we don't want to come in for just one show.
Oh, man.
So I'm just... So that kind of sucked. That's what leads us to tonight's top 10 category. Top 10 things the Third Coast Comedy Club must be forced to do, having canceled on me hours before a show and then doing nothing to compensate me or rebook me. Number 10. Use an airplane lavatory right after Stormy and Donald have finished with it. I know.
Yeah.
Number 9. Be visited by the ghost of Christmas food poisoning all the way till Labor Day.
Oh.
Number 8. Sit through 160 performances of the all bagpipe tribute to Justin Bieber that Fish is working up. Number 7. Wake up married to Sarah Huckabee Sanders living in a Bonnaroo porta-john with the cast of F-Boy Island. That's a real show, in case you guys didn't know that.
It is.
Yeah, it's a real show. Number 6. Massage the gums of all the current members of the Proud Boys using items found in the CVS biohazard dumpster. This is what they can do. This is what they can do. Number 5. Receive twice daily non-anesthetized colonoscopies until Trump concedes the 2020 election.
Oh, dear.
Wow, that hit pretty good. These are the top 10 things, in case you forgot, top 10 things the Third Coast Comedy Club must be forced to do, having canceled on me hours before a show and then doing nothing to compensate me or rebook me. Number 4. Clean Ann Coulter's bicycle seat with their tongues while listening to Ben Shapiro's podcast.
They might like that.
Number 3. Get on The Price is Right, win the Showcase Showdown, and go on an all-expenses paid vacation to Israel. Number 2. Start eating a salad and then bite down really hard on the fork so that it crunches and hurts, and then accidentally swallow the fork and puncture multiple internal organs and bleed to death and have their face eaten off by their cat.
Okay.
By their cat. And the number 1 thing that the Third Coast Comedy Club must be forced to do after all that stuff, they don't deserve a number 1. Screw those guys.
It feels like you're just holding something back here.
I know. I feel like I should really let it out.
And let me ask you this. You're not planning on ever going there again.
That's correct, sir. Yes,
Well, then
I'm going to be
watch.
doing my show at the recently reopened Toys R Us.
That's a good
Hey,
idea.
speaking of people who will never be here again, it's time for our musical guest. Now, as you may recall,
Hey,
Brad.
wait, Patty. No, wait, Patty.
Oh, right, that's
Patty.
right. You're right. We
Yeah,
changed that.
perfect.
Okay, now I made fun of you. Now I can't remember what's going on. You're right. It's time for Patty.
I also want to know who's talking.
There's Patty. I got her. I'm adding her right now. Hi, Patti Vasquez. Welcome to our nightmare.
Okay, hold on a second. We're getting a lot of outside sounds here.
Okay, I'll mute this guy.
There you go. There it is. Hi, Patty. I love your new living room.
No, it's just a green screen. I got bored of people seeing my basement.
All right, you ready, Patty? Should we do this thing?
Should I decorate my basement this way? Anyway, yes,
I think
go
it's
ahead.
fantastic. Go.
It's time for a Patty Melt with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses. She's melting down. It's a Patti Vasquez Patty Melt.
Live from her basement.
In my fake living room. How can I? Oh, hi. The problem with this melt is that sometimes I'll think, I'll write this all out. I'll have it ready to go. I'll be really tight about it, and then something will happen. I'm like, oh no, I gotta make that the melt. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'll just wing it when I get there and see what makes me angry at the last minute. And Steve, someone went, dang, are you bitter? Here's the thing: people don't realize what it's like. We are independent contractors. Like, I look at my calendar and I see I have a date in August. I'm like, oh my God, I still get to do what I love in August. So when something comes along and nudges you and bumps you and people are being unprofessional, oh my God, don't even get me started, Steve. So I feel your rage.
In case I forgot something, feel free. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Okay. So we all have one. I actually remember one club didn't pay me $75 back in 1998, and I still remember that place. Just saying. You want to know how long we're going to hold on to this? In 2000. Okay. So I used to work for Ken Muller, and yes, Brad, I will not be working for Ken Muller again. Also, he's not around anymore, so it doesn't matter.
I think he's dead.
Really? Well, so,
I think a comedian killed him. I'm not sure about that.
He's got another guy took over all his. He was an agent for cruises, and now somebody else is doing. He's retired.
Well, so here, So I used to be a middle act for him, and one of your favorite comedians, Brad, Kevin Burke, used to take me on the road with him as his feature act on all my. I know all. Sorry, I just want to make all the comics angry.
Never say that name. That name shall not be said on this show.
So I swear this is going to be funny, but it's going to be dark first. So I used to be a feature act for him, and I had a date in January of 2001. And it was like 6 weeks out, and I called him. I go, hey, I'm taking a trip that I'm going to Los Angeles. I'm moving to Los Angeles. I actually was moving to Los Angeles. And he goes, you booked this date with me. If you cancel this, don't expect to work for me again. I'm like, oh, God, you know what? I'll work around it. I'll still do the gig. So 4 weeks later, 2 weeks before the gig, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, small cell lung cancer, which is inoperable. There's not like you can take it out. And so I called him and I said, my father's been diagnosed with lung cancer. I am not going to be able to do that date. And he was like really crappy with me about it and just hung up. So my father passed away in June of 2001. And about 6 months later, I was ready to get back on the road, and I called Muller. Do you know what Muller said? He goes, so, how's your daddy?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Said it. So but you know what? I'm still a comic. I wanted to work. It was 2001. I was still just a feature act. So I took 2 weeks on the road with him, and they canceled the first. So this goes to Steve. So the first night is in Devil's Lake, Minnesota. See how long is that? 22 years. 23. So I'm on my way. Steve came with me because we were trying to get pregnant. You didn't need to know that part.
Different Steve.
Part of the story.
How'd that
Different
go?
Steve.
Sorry.
Different Steve.
Okay, good.
It took me 3 years to get pregnant. Anyway, so I call. So I'm on the road. We stop the night before my Devil's Lake gig because I figured we'll make a week of it. And I got a call the next morning on my way to Devil's Lake that they had canceled the show. A water main had burst, which I was like, I'd heard that story before about other venues. So I called the venue, go, hey, you guys doing a comedy show tonight? And they were like, nah, we didn't really sell many tickets, so we canceled it. I was already on the road. So I'm trying to call Ken. He won't return my calls. I'm on my way to Rapid City. I actually stopped in Aberdeen. The owners of the Holiday Inn, they were very sweet and let me stay there for $25 that night. Made it to Rapid City. I'm going to make this really short. I was supposed to go to Minot the next week. Ken wouldn't return my phone calls. Finally, he answers the phone. Because he told the owner of the guy in Rapid City, the Firehouse Comedy Club, he goes, Patty's trying to get a hold of you. And Ken Muller said, yeah, just another turd I got to deal with. Yeah. So on Monday, he finally answered the phone. And I said, I'm not going to Minot. And he goes, don't expect to ever work for me again. Yeah, that's the point. Me and Steve, never working for never working for Ken Muller. That's all I'm saying. 22 years. You're going to hold on for the rest of your life there, Steve.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's the greatest. Oh, my God.
That was
You guys have noticed how much I've been plugging this show for the past month,
Yes.
and that's only the tip of the iceberg, how many people I've bothered. And I actually, on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock, even when the weather's good, it's tough to get people to come out. I probably would have come close to filling that place. And no, sorry, not going to happen.
Yeah, okay, my story. So Bert Borth, who we all love, he's a good guy.
Yes.
Except I had been on the road 6 months. He books me to feature for $300 in like I can't remember, Rockford. He had a week somewhere. And I get to the gig when they tell me, you're not booked here. What are you talking about? I had not that many weeks. I call Bert at Schaumburg at the Funny Bone, and he goes, oh yeah, I guess I forgot you.
Oh,
I said, look, man.
double booked.
I said, look, I came all the way here. I called on Tuesday and confirmed this. Yeah, then I forgot. What? And yeah, and I said, well, I have no money with me. And he goes, yeah, well, I'll get you another week. I said, no, I got a better idea, Bert. I'm coming to Schaumburg and I'm going to beat you down. I guarantee you, I'm coming right now to Schaumburg, and you better not be there. And he goes, I'll give you $100 in a room for the next 2 days. So he gave me $100, and I said, and later I apologized. I said I probably, because that's not.
So let me get this straight. Your price is $100 not to perform.
That's right.
Bert Borth, I
Well,
believe.
and what kind of no? And you know what? I'm not the kind of person to threaten anybody. I've never threatened anybody before. I just was so broke and mad.
Yeah.
And I would have never done it because I'd have gotten there and been like, "Give me money." But I was so mad that I drove to do a strip joint up in the Upper Peninsula one time. It was 3 nights for $300. And I drove up there and I got there and they said, oh, it hasn't been going well. And they gave me half the money. He said, here's $100. And that's fine.
But after you took all those pole dancing lessons, they just canceled.
But I never got to work with strippers. I'd always wanted to work with strippers and I never did. You guys ever work with strippers?
Nope.
Bill?
My lawyer has advised I not answer that question.
I did a Christmas party for strippers and a stripper owner.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you were paid in G-strings. It was fantastic. So
no, but all in singles.
I should have trained with classes with my mom, but I wasn't thinking.
Speaking of things not going the way we want them to, it's well, first of all, Patty's waving goodbye, so I'm gonna take Patty.
Yeah,
Bye, Patty. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And our musical guest, who we've been trying for 6 decades now to get Heywood Banks on this show, it is past his bedtime. So about 6 weeks ago, we pre-recorded his set. And you know what the deal is. The musical guest plays a song, then I've got to answer it, and then he plays another song. I'm not supposed to know what he played. Well, lucky for you guys, I'm 58. I can't remember what he played. So this will be almost like real. Yes, Brad?
Wait, you haven't played anything then? I can't remember how we did this. We just taped him, and you're going to stop in between and come back.
Exactly. It'll almost make sense.
And we taping this took enough time, just like you'd think a 70-year-old technology person would do. It was.
We spent 3 hours with Heywood to get 6 songs out of him. And I noticed after we'd done it, I played it back. My audio is completely distorted. He's fine, but I'm a mess. So here we go.
Okay,
it's Heywood Banks. It's coming up now.
It's our musical guest, Gonna sing something funny and then Steve will play something in between. Our musical guest. It's time for our musical guest.
Heywood Banks live on tape. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. For your entertainment pleasure, it's Heywood Banks.
Gonna take the expressway from Ohio to Iowa. Then I'm gonna ride the road from Iowa to Idaho. I wish they build a highway from Idaho to Hawaii. Oh, I know that you can fly, but I'd rather drive on the Ohio, Iowa, Idaho, Hawaii highway. Here we go, come on. On the Ohio, Iowa, Idaho, Hawaii highway. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. On the Ohio, Iowa, Idaho, Hawaii highway. Gonna buy me some pineapple when I'm in Hawaii. Maybe pick up some pineapples when I'm out in Idaho. I'm gonna buy me an apple pie when I'm driving through Iowa. And a pallet of thermometers at the Costco in Toledo, Ohio. Oh, that's pineapple pie, apple pie, and a pallet of thermometers, Ohio. Ohio, Iowa, here we go. On the Ohio, Iowa, Idaho, Hawaii highway. What a crowd! On the Ohio, Iowa, Idaho, Hawaii highway. When I go to the dentist and he puts my gums to sleep, I can't feel my tongue or teeth, and my lips feel like a piece of meat. But when he's firing up his drill bit and I'm drowning in my own spit, I sing along with the hits like the Ohio, Idaho, highway. Throw your head back to the dentist, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. That was fun. I got to answer that somehow. I did notice that his song mentioned Hawaii, so I've got a song that mentions Hawaii at the very end. It'll seem like this makes no sense, but it all does connect. The show I was supposed to be doing last Thursday is about, Weird Al and Daniel Radcliffe. And one thing I mentioned in that show is how much of a fan of mine Nina Yankovic is, Al's daughter, when she heard my Dumbledore parody of Hardware Store. So here's a song I wrote for Nina, thanking her. Well, I wrote a little song about Harry Potter, and it struck a big chord with Al Yankovic's daughter. That was a few years back, I'm sure she's moved on. But for a little while there, I was the bomb. Oh Nina, I have yet to meet you, but according to your weird old man, you're a big old fan of mine. That is so cool. Oh Nina, sure your dad's a genius, but Dumbledore beats a hardware store every time! Wouldn't you agree? Me too. Well, I really wanted you to hear this song. It's only 1 minute, 27 seconds long, so at the risk of being sent to a sanatorium, I went backstage at the Ryman Auditorium when your dad was playing the Ryman in 2016, and I got to go backstage with the CD of this song, and I gave it to him, and he said he would give it to you, and I hope he did, but I don't think he did. Oh Nina, I wanted to thank you by tweeting you, but that would be creepy. So instead I wrote you a song much more appropriate. Oh Nina, you and your mom and dad and Sandy and Dina are the coolest little family ever. And I bet you've got the coolest house in all of Southern California, because I'll bet it's got suits of armor, moving stairs, and ghosts who wander everywhere, and talking pictures, headless nights, trouble making poltergeists, and maps know where people are, and fighting dreams and fly cars, dinner places, show full, and clothes that aren't visible, and 15,000 Hawaiian shirts. Thanks, Dad. And you, Nina, you are the very coolest. And by the way, I'm available to play bat mitzvahs and weddings. Yeah. And now, another song from the great Heywood Banks.
Yay!
Hope we know Big Grace.
I am a turkey bird, I live a turkey life. I got me 13 turkey kids, a little turkey wife. I eat a little corn, then wander around the pen. Have a drink of water, then it's corn again. Puffing my feathers out, strutting all around. Come on, check me out, I'm pecking on the ground. Dangly noodle hangy thing growing off my face. I'm looking good, only thing to say is blue, blue, blue. Now, 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 dee, oh, now, no, now, dee, oh, now, no, now, oh, now, now. My big brother Jake, he always was a smarty. He said when November ends, we're going to a party. Going to a party, I'll be the guest of honor, where they will present to me a red pop-up thermometer. I had a little dream, all the good china you know, like cranberries. Any more corn? I ate too much, I'm feeling stuffed. I am a turkey bird, I live a turkey life. I got me 13 turkey kids, a little turkey wife.
Yeah.
All right.
That was amazing.
Heywood Banks!
Fantastic. I could do 50 of these right now.
That was
50
great.
of these. That was great. Okay,
Hey, so now we're going to play this later. So normally at this point we say, so where are you going to be performing in the next little while that we can come catch it? But since we don't know we'll be playing this, so where are you going to be performing in the next 50 years?
Well, you can go to heywoodbanks.com and my schedule's right there.
Hey, where you be?
Heywood with an E, heywoodbanks.com.
That's right. And that's where I am right now. I'm looking at heywoodbanks.com right now. By the way, you can look at it too because it's right there. This Saturday, he'll be at Weatherwax Hall in Jackson, Michigan. So if you're going to be in Michigan, get out there to Weatherwax Hall and see Heywood Banks. And I can't believe we got him even that way. That was fantastic.
Wait, I'm supposed to be on. I'm not on. Oh, there I am.
Hey,
Hey, what was I going to ask him?
I don't know. I have no idea. It doesn't really matter. But the reason I'm putting his thing here because his website, because at the end of the show, it's going to show the web addresses for our guests from last week.
Oh.
And that's not helpful. So now you have this right here. All right. Guess what? Guess who it's time for?
It's Bill.
OMG. It's Bill Boronkay.
Hey.
Shut
No
up.
blue square. No gray square.
Hey, first of all, I want to let you guys know, I feel kind of bad because everyone started off so angry in this, and I'm kind of in a good mood, and I feel guilty because I just got booked at this Third Coast Comedy Club.
Oh, great. I hear they're
Okay, that's enough from Bill Boronkay. Let's move on to our next thing. Oh, no. Let's do the intro, and then you'll give us 10 minutes of stand-up.
Oh, I get an intro too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give you so that your
here
actual
before.
act won't make me angry. Here we go.
It's time for a big headliner. Got some funny jokes to say. Oh, do a 10-minute set headliner. Man, I'm so glad that it's Monday. Yeah.
Bill Boronkay.
Oops.
How about another dumb song?
I didn't mean to do that.
I like that you said it took you like 6 decades to get Heywood to do this, and it took you guys like 10 minutes to get me.
Yeah.
That's just about.
I feel special. I also wanted to share. I actually just flew Southwest because Brad was talking. Well, how many you booked a whole bunch on Southwest?
Oh God, I've 8 flights coming up.
Well, I mean, we all know the running joke is, if you get on early, you get a good seat to look and then look as unattractive as possible so no one will sit by you. So this last flight, I was actually going to Louisville. And I'm on the aisle, and this dude gets in. He's like, "Hey, man, can I grab, the window?" I'm like, "Sure." So he gets in. As he's sitting down, he reaches in his bag, he pulls out a baby bottle and sticks it on the middle seat. And I'm losing my mind. But you can't get up. Everyone's coming through, and I'm like, I'm going to look like a jerk. Finally, they get ready to announce we're getting ready for takeoff. He grabs the bottle, looks at me, and goes, "Works every time." Bam! Wow, Brad, you should sell baby bottles.
The show, yes.
And actually, it's funny because I was, I think, Steve, you mentioned Hawaii. I did Hawaii, but then I ended up in Mexico. And so, you know how you get off in the ports in Mexico and you're just accosted by all these like street vendors, and they're aggressive. And this last one, I almost bought a watch. And then I realized it was mine. Kind of overpriced. And then I'm walking through the streets, and I swear this dude just yells out, "You want a massage?" I'm like, no. And then he gets offended, like street massages are a big thing. And I thought about it, but I wasn't sure I could afford the happy to be alive ending. But anyway, so back to Louisville. I was in Louisville, and doing this show kind of reminded me of this. I'll tell you why, because it's like 5 o'clock-ish. I'm at this coffee shop. I'm like, I got to grab dinner and then go to the hotel and get ready and then go to the club. And so there's this Qdoba in the same parking lot. I'm like, I'll just walk over there. They had one dude working, and not just making the food, but register and everything. I don't have this kind of time. I'm like, there's a Subway across the street. So I go to the Subway. It's like 5:15. It's closed. And I'm like, kind of like this. Are you guys trying to keep the pandemic alive? Or no one tells Kentucky that it was 2 years ago? And so I go to the club. I'm telling someone, the guy goes, "Well, dude, no, the guy had to leave Subway to go work at Qdoba." Right. And then get this, in Kentucky, I still couldn't believe this. There was a division, I didn't know they had divisions, of the KKK, and they were passing out leaflets in 2024. And I'm like, oh man, that's the thing no one talks about with racism, is just the wasted paper. It's like, it's hard to email through a hood. Like, come on, guys, modernize your irrational hate already. It's like, this isn't even like your parents racist. This is like our grandparents racist, or actually it's probably our grandparents. No, I kind of like that. Anyway, I'm sitting here actually in Ohio. Unfortunately, I have a place I can kind of stay in Ohio in between runs in this region. I was just in Michigan. And I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there's this whole Ohio-Michigan rivalry. And Michigan had legalized marijuana a while back. Ohio just legalized it. And I think it's just to screw with Michigan's economy. Because as you're going to the border, there are all these billboards. Just all they are marijuana dispensaries and personal injury lawyers, but mostly marijuana. And there's this one that stuck with me. It said nature's remedy, and then it said we deliver. I'm like, man, Uber smokes. But the whole thing is, you know, now that it's 2024, I know you guys are all about bettering yourselves, or apparently, Steve, your computers. And so I'm like, all right, I want to improve myself. So I'm going to read I'm going to watch some documentaries, because otherwise I'd have to read. And but if you notice, like, documentaries used to be an hour or 90 minutes, but now they're like multiple episodes. Like, and I blame Ken Burns, because he took 11 hours to explain the Civil War. My 7th grade history class covered it in one afternoon. Where's Mrs. Dombrowski's Emmy? So I'm going through, and I just watched, let's see, Stallone's documentary, Arnold, and Shaq's. And one thing they all have in common, all these guys were producers on their own documentaries. So if you get famous enough, you can tell your own story. It's amazing how awesome you turn out. But another common thing they had was Stallone's dad was physically abusive. Arnold's dad was a former Nazi, and Shaq's dad was a drill sergeant. So all these guys said when they became fathers, they would be much more kind and loving. And so I was Googling their kids. Their kids have done nothing. So if you want your kids to achieve, apparently, don't hug them. I mean, I'm not saying beat them. I mean, times have changed. You can't do that. But maybe, you know, just give them a little elbow when they're going up to get that participation trophy. Listen, I had amazing, loving, and supportive parents. Do I have a Netflix special? No, I'm on some virtual comedy show.
That's right.
The virtual comedy show.
My bad. Wow. All right.
There's only
So basically, you know, my parents, I'd be more successful if they would load me up with a little motivational spite. That's the key. It's all about parenting. And so I'm spending more time on Netflix, and I haven't been on Netflix in forever. And you know that continue watching section? Mine had, let's see, Scooby-Doo, Angry Birds, and Puss in Boots. Kind of weird, because only 2 of those are mine. So I'm like, all right, obviously I've been hacked. And it's like, you got to change your passwords. Someone was talking about changing passwords early. In the old days, not a big deal. But now, let's see, you got to change on your laptop, your PC, your TV, your iPad, your phone, your Roku, your Fire Stick, toaster oven, curling iron. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's a lot. So I'm telling my friend, I'm whining to him, and he's like, dude, these are kids shows. This is probably some poor kid. He can't afford it. You're going to take his one source of joy away. It's like, I'm the bad guy, not his deadbeat dad that can't, you know, pull out $16 a month from his Bush Light budget. Besides, little Timmy's watching too much TV anyway. Be a good dad. Get him a basketball. Hack my Amazon. So get this. This just happened on this run in Michigan. After the show, some guy came up to me. He's like, you know, I'm a Bush Light rep. I'm like, oh, man. Well, you know your beer's crap, right? He's like, yeah, I know. Look, come on, man. I'll buy you a course. I'm like, do you market to like 15-year-olds? So something else on bettering ourselves. Get this now. I don't know how I got on these lists, but every morning I'm getting emails with a word of the day, fact of the day, and a quote of the day, which is awesome because every morning I start my day by being reminded I'm a moron in 3 different categories. So today's word, get this, turtling, which oddly has nothing to do with Mitch McConnell.
Nah.
Oh, really? That's where we're going to groan?
That's where
So, but I guess what it is I had no idea. It's the act of hunting turtles because, in case, sloth hunting is too challenging for you. The fact of the day was, bubble wrap was first designed as a wallpaper, which means your living room would be like the coolest for like 2.5 minutes. And my favorite is the quote of the day. And the quote was, "Know your role." So it's basically sit down and shut up, which apparently I learned from Mrs. Dombrowski in the 7th grade. Oh, man. So this is actually my girlfriend's house, and everyone loves her, which is really awesome for them. It's horrible for me. I think I got to end it. Because everyone loves your wife or girlfriend. You guys know, no one will take your side in any argument ever. Ever. Like all I ever get is, "You're so lucky to have her." Doesn't matter what it is. It's like, sure, she stabbed you. It was a butter knife. Walk it off. And I've thought about this before, but I think now I might have to pull the trigger because, guys, this time of year, you'll basically consider any option to get out of Valentine's Day. And I'm not ripping Valentine's Day. I think it's actually great. It's a day set aside to let some know how special they are. But the problem is the timing of it, because you think about the swing we're coming through. It's like Thanksgiving, I'm so thankful for you. Christmas, your gift. New Year's, you're my resolution. Martin Luther King Day, you're a racist. I mean, when's it done? To wrap this, I believe this. It sounds like I'm trashing her. She's actually really awesome. And on top of everything, she's a lawyer, but she's also a life coach, which means all these CEOs and executives pay her thousands of dollars for guidance. While every day, we're absolutely free, I'm told what I'm doing wrong. And I'm out of time, guys. Thank you for having me.
Okay. You took
He's
us both
gone.
out.
I didn't mean to knock him out.
Just get
I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. Okay, now it's just Bill. Now
Now,
that hurt.
add your
now it's us, and now Brad will come back.
There we go.
Yay! That was great.
You know what? I got a little advice for you.
Hit me.
You want to stop that Valentine's Day getting anything? You want to stop it?
Yes.
Marry him.
You know what? I'll go shopping.
Never. Also, that kid that stole your Netflix, his dad is horrible, so he'll be famous one day. And
oh, good.
Yeah. So
Little
that
Stallone.
Kid, yeah, screw that kid.
Hey, Bill, where can we see you performing in the next little while?
I am actually, get this, I'm going to do a country club in Jackson, Michigan the night before Heywood Banks.
Get out of here.
I know. I
Really?
didn't know he was going to be there.
Wow. And
maybe
we can find
ruin his show.
We can find all the details there,
You can
right?
find everything, BillBoronkay.com. Sure.
That's right, because your website will not be listed in the closing credits because my computer broke.
Are you having any cruises?
Look up the last guy.
You have any cruises coming up?
Actually, I've got a bunch of land gigs, and then I'm with MSC in the Caribbean all of April.
You like that MSC?
I actually do. I've had a lot of fun with them.
What does MSC stand for?
I should know that, shouldn't I?
Oh my God! I thought it was just lingo because you boat comics knew all these shorthands, but no, you don't even know what you're talking about.
What is
I
it?
don't know.
That's
Some Italian family.
Yeah, my super duper cruises. MSC
They started as a freight company, so it's something shipping company.
All right.
They're cute.
Yeah.
That's
there you go.
funny.
I'm glad somebody knows what's going on.
Yeah, but that's great. Yeah, they don't like me. They told me that I was a loser. They only work good comics. So
right.
Just did the Princess thing though for the first time in 5 years. I worked Princess one time, and I got on stage. Before I got on stage, I was backstage for Welcome Aboard show, and he goes, "By the way, 80% of these people no speak English." So I did 2 shows for non-English speaking crowds. And it did not go well, as you would expect. My mindset just wasn't what it should have been. And then I went home mad. I'm like, why'd they do this? And then they called and they said, will you fly to Singapore for 1 day? 3 days in the air to do one show. And I said, no. And I haven't until a month ago when they said, do you want to do something? I was like, I don't think I want to go back. But it was great, though. So good Princess is great. So take a Princess.
I'm angry about Princess because
Why?
I did them in Alaska
Mhm.
first night, and I was so excited. I'm like, I had so much fun. I'm like, this is the show. This is the cruise line for me. The cruise director went up and did like 10 minutes, but everything he was doing, I had jokes that would go with. So it looked like I was improvising, and I wasn't. And the stage manager back, she's like, oh my God, how did you do that? The cruise director's fist bumping me. The next morning, the entertainment director calls me, hey, can you come down to the office? Sure. Should I bring my playbook? Just come down. I'm like, what? So I go down, and he said, needless to say, last night didn't go well.
What?
I'm like, what? And so, but he was such a cool guy. By the end of it, he's like, make sure you get the discount for the Wi-Fi. And he's like, by the end, we're laughing, and I'm thanking him for firing me, which was weird. And so a couple days later, I'm on deck. I'm walking the deck, and we had just pulled. This is my first time in Alaska, and he's like, he sees me. I'm like, hey, is there anything interesting to do with the sport? He's like, well, there's that restaurant. It's really expensive, but you're an entertainer. You can afford it. And I'm like, you heard, I got fired. So anyway, but they didn't tell me. They just said they had complaints, which I thought was weird because, I mean, I love me. And so get this, though. A month later, I'm working this club in Erie, Pennsylvania, and it's like a comedy magic club. And the magician, he's like, hey, you were just on Princess in Alaska? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I was just on. It was the same ship. And he got on like after like the second or third stop. And he said, yeah, they told me they had to fire the comedian. I'm like, I'm him. And I said, I couldn't figure out why. He goes, here's the deal. He goes, I go, the entertainment director seems like a great guy. He is. And I asked him why they fired the comedian. And he said, I don't know. Someone from corporate got on and hated him.
What?
So, yeah.
I got fired from Regent because someone rich called a vice president, and the cruise director tried to go to bat for me, the entertainment.
Oh, he tried to go to bat for you? That's cool.
Oh, no, they all did. And the booker, they're all telling him, no, he did great. But one couple that knew personally, a vice president called and said,
wow,
they were offended. And yeah, 40,000.
Oh, wait, that was you?
Yeah, that was me.
I'm sorry.
What are you calling for?
Man,
well, Bill, good.
sorry.
We'll try our
Steve's
best.
got a lot more money than we knew.
You come back to Princess, call him, tell the agent to call him and come back. So, all right, well, yay.
Yay, thank you, Bill. It was awesome.
Get rid of him.
Nice job, Bill.
All right.
Time for the next thing. Here comes the next thing.
Yay.
Anytime now.
How about
There it is.
another dumb song from Steve for no reason?
Well, as you probably have noticed, I spent all my time and energy promoting a show that didn't happen to the neglect of my new album. I haven't been promoting this at all, so I'm going to promote it now. How about another dumb song from Steve for no reason? And I'm going to do a song from it, which I don't know if I've done this here. I can't remember. This song was quote-unquote written. Let's get rid of that. Quote-unquote written for a stupid parody idea contest at FumpFest 2023. And somehow people liked it enough that I actually recorded it. So here it is. The Winter Olympics came around, recruiting in my hometown. They said that they wanted me to ski, just go up the hill and then come down. They said to me, it's as simple as can be. But I say, I fell off the chairlift, and I did not even get to ski. Okay, that's enough.
Oh, my God.
There's more. You want to hear the rest? Get one of these. And if you
That's right.
already own it, get another one.
Oh, they give them a taste. All they get is a taste. That's
all you
they
get.
All
That's all you
right, do the thing.
Okay, it's time for Brad to beg for money.
Brad begs for money. Hey, we need your money. We don't charge a cover for a 2-drink minimum, so what did you expect, Jack?
Hey, y'all, remember my joke about the Winter Olympics? No? Remember my joke? Remember the Finnish skier that got frozen penis? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got 5 hours in the snow, frozen penis, painful. A lot of people don't believe it's real till they touch their tongue to it and it sticks. Okay.
Oh.
Keeping it classy.
Keeping it classy. So anyway, if you can find this show, you'll never hear jokes like that again. First 10,000 means a year, no jokes like that. Go to virtualcomedyshow.com, click donate to the comedians, and we'll put that money towards getting Bill back with Princess. I think that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll get that fired. Whoever who knew somebody from the thing fired. We'll also get a lawsuit against Third Coast Comedy Club. We'll get the money together and we'll buy the Third Coast Comedy Club and throw them out.
Yeah.
Also, we'll get me a light that works, for God's sake. Or some orange paint, one of the two. Just go to virtualcomedyshow.com, click donate to the comedians, and we'll be a lot happier. Heywood doesn't need any of our money. So
No.
and he wasn't actually here, so he doesn't know that there's
He's getting all the money. All right. Hey, remember last week when I screwed up your worst joke of the week? You're going to do it for us live.
Yeah, I'm going to do it live.
Okay, here it comes.
Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Worst joke. Boo! That was the worst joke ever.
So yeah, Brick Manley would have did this one, but I'm going to do it. Here we go. And really, this is one of my favorite jokes I've ever written, and which means it's gross. Here we go. Schitt's Creek star and creator Dan Levy, remember him?
Oh, yes.
Said that his high school days were plagued with kids thinking the movie American Pie was about him because his dad, Eugene, played the father in the film. And Levy said that's in no way true, and he doesn't even know the ingredients of an apple pie. He said, "We're Canadian. Up here, it's bang dang sweet poutine."
You
have a thing? You have to credit?
We'll be back next week.
Okay.
Hey, that was the virtual comedy show. We learned a lot of stuff we didn't need to know, like Nashville is freaking covered with snow. Yep, that's what you get when you watch this show. Fascinating, isn't it? We have a lot of fun at the virtual comedy show. It's better than sitting home playing with your toes or going to the dump to watch stuff decompose. Keep coming back to the virtual comedy show. We hope you enjoyed the virtual comedy show. Don't have to dress up, no, 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 no. You can be like Radical Commando. Every Monday it's the virtual comedy show. See you Monday at the virtual comedy